Hello, everyone. Welcome to Heart Center Tarot. As always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. I have with me, once again, David from
Hello,
Tarot
everyone.
by the Bay. Hey, David.
I'm
Hello.
Marina. Marina just was showing me how to click up the link so I could link it up to my channel, and then I promptly misspelled her channel name on my channel. So, if you're here from my channel, there it is right there on the screen. Heart Center Tarot, not Heartfelt Tarot. Although Heartfelt Tarot would probably be a good channel name too.
It would. It would. Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
had
You know what? Well, I answer to anything. And I'm so glad that we can stream this to both. And hello to my subscribers, hello to your subscribers. I have David's information listed down below in the description of the video. So if you're from my channel, make sure that you go over and give him a like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And if any of you guys are watching us in replay, hello, welcome. I'm glad you're here.
you didn't get to ask questions real time, but you get to hear other people's questions answered.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. And you never know, they might be your questions too. So, just sit back, enjoy. Um, and yeah, as David likes to point out on his channel, um, if you're of the mega persuasion, you might want to click on another channel. Just saying, right?
It's
Yeah,
not necessarily the most MAGA friendly, but at the same time, we all have the risk of living in an echo chamber. And I
exactly.
would say for anybody who's a MAGA faithful, you're going to hear stuff in here that you're not going to like. It's just the way it is. And
Yeah,
if you're open minded and can allow for new information to come in, stick around. You're not going to like what you hear, but you'll at least get a different perspective.
exactly.
It's not going to be attacking, but it's just you have to make your choice if you want to live in an echo chamber or not. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's it is what it is, and
Yep.
that's what we do. But yeah, you're right. We don't attack. We don't get we're not up to try to round you up and kill you all. But
we just won't have. We don't have kind things to say about
no.
leaders who lead in a fascist manner. You may not think that the Republican Party or Donald Trump is a fascist, but they fit the 14 stages of fascism, or 14 steps of fascism.
Yeah.
And we can agree to disagree on politics and how you implement things, but we can't agree to disagree on morality and ethics. If
Yeah.
your morality and ethics can't match up with ours, God bless you. Go
Yeah.
someplace where you can find that. But
Yeah.
that's really what the crux difference is.
Perfect. Exactly. And just want to say hello to Sherry is here. My sister of the Mystical Tarot. Fleck is here. Who else did I see? We had a nice little conversation. Laura Wright and Spirit Watcher Suzanne. Rossi's Den. I hope I don't miss anyone. And Sil E is here. Viviani, welcome. Spirit Watcher Suzanne, I mentioned. Linda Thompson. Connie B. And thank you, Sherry, for putting that up there. Yeah, if you have any questions, we'll try to get to some questions in the end. Please put them in all caps so to get my attention, because as most of you may or may not know, I really should be wearing glasses, but I'm too damn vain to put them on. So
yeah, I wear mine on here. I would wear them all the time, except that sometimes they bounce off the light from the laptop. So
yeah,
my head down a little bit and then it stops up. But if I look up,
I know. And Samantha, and who else is here? Connie B, I mentioned.
Miss
Sonia,
Marina,
hey Sonia. Watcher 9997. And here we go. Excellent. So As I said, welcome. Um, Couple things that I thought that we could start reading on, and just to kind of get into it is, and this I found kind of both interesting and disturbing. But um, a man by the name of, where is he? John Russell Howard out of Montana
Hmm.
was just sentenced to 18 years in prison for federal hate crimes.
Hmm.
Basically, what he did, I think it was in 2020, he decided that he was going to rid his little town of anyone that was or resembled LGBTQ plus. So he went to this woman's house. She identified as a lesbian, and he was shooting at her house.
Lovely.
And yeah, he thought that he had killed her. He didn't, thank goodness. And as he was going down the street to hit a few other places, there was people who recognized him and kind of slowed him down enough for the police to show up. And that's when he ran into the woods, and they got him the next day. And he was very heavily armed. Okay. So, first of all, it is um, it is mind-boggling to me that someone would actually do that, actually make a plan to search out the people of the LGBTQ plus community and want to destroy them.
Yeah.
I cannot wrap my brain around that. Um, it's not like they knock on your door every Sunday morning, right?
Can we sit down and listen to some Indigo Girl albums and discuss the benefits of Judy Garland with you?
That's right. Yeah, exactly. So, I just, what I really wanted to take a look at was, given what he was charged with, 18 years is a long time. And you know how they say, gay for the stay? I'd like to know how things are going to go for him in prison.
Okay, let's see. What's his name again?
John Russell Howard.
John Russell Howard. Okay.
Yeah.
How can we go for him in prison? He's got a lot of time to contemplate it, but the problem is prison's filled with some really hard people.
Yes.
And it's funny you say plan. It's like not much of a plan, because your plan was to shoot him up and like not think of the consequences. Like, oh, everybody's going to be okay with this, dude. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
For him in prison.
Exactly.
That's an interesting combo. Let me throw the cards here. Okay. Oh, I see where this is going. Got it. Okay. Oh dear. Okay. And oh my, come on down, everyone. All right. So I was getting the Queen of Pentacles as my signifier with the Ace of Wands. It's like, okay, what does that mean? All right, but here's what it means. It's his idea of families and family values and what the nuclear family should look like. But this card's representing the LGBTQ community in that area, and him coming up with a plan that he was going to force his will on this community because his values are different than theirs, and he's going to force them to have his values. Now, in the past, we have the Queen of Swords. The courts aren't real kind or very keen on people taking the law into their own hands and doing that. So he's then held under judgment, and judgment was cast upon him. And that sent him to prison, where he is now. The lesson to be learned on this is heartbreak and betrayal. I think he might have a victim complex, like he had the right idea, and it's these gays that are the problem, and he's just a victim, and they're the ones who should be eliminated. Why is he being held to account? But the outcome is death. And the underlying message is the Three of Wands. So he took his plan, he instituted his plan, but his plan has now sent him packing to a different area. I'm really concerned if he survives prison.
Yeah.
As a beginning. I mean, the death card can be the end of thoughts. It can be the end of a cycle and beginning of something new. So if he takes a very enlightened path, he's going to put an end to his very narrow way of thinking. I'm not getting the vibe, though, that this person is necessarily right of mind. And I think he's going to feel like he's been victimized, even though he's the one that shot up the place. He's going to feel everything was unfair. And I don't think things are going to go well for him in prison. That's just my thoughts on it.
I think you're absolutely right. And my cards kind of reflect what you were saying. And yeah. Hello, sunflower down under. Okay. So
Sunflowers here.
I too got the Three of Swords.
True.
That was kind of the middle card, the signifier for me. Okay. So I've got the Four of Cups, where he's kind of very much into that that victim mentality, that I can't see what I've done. I'm not willing to see what I've done. And you know what? The Eight of Cups, I just wanted all this to just go away, right? I don't want, I want my little town to be the way that I envision my little town to be. Then, the Three of Swords. And then I've got the Knight of Swords. Like, he just went in there barreling, and this is what I'm going to do, and did not sit back and think of the consequences at all. It was like this immediate thing.
Because everybody in the town agrees with him, That's his mindset. Everybody in town agreed with me, so I just did what needed to be done, and nobody else had the spine to do it.
Exactly. Yeah. And I end with the Four of Swords. So when you said that, you didn't see him surviving in prison.
Yeah.
I think that and I looked at that card and I thought, yeah, okay, that's exactly what it is. There's, it is not going to bode well for him. I think that ultimately, if he is to survive, they're going to have to put him in segregation.
Yeah.
But then if they put him in segregation, then that just makes him a bigger target.
Yeah, I think, that Four of Swords can also be sort of you better lie low, pal. You just better lie low, because you might think you're a big dog, but when you get into the prison system, those are the really bad people are in there. The really, really bad people are in there, and you don't want to be in prison. You do not want to be there.
No.
All of us who wants the Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah. Totally. And this is wonderful. Listen, Sonia says that I like David's messages about these things. You have great reads.
Thank you, Sonia. I appreciate that.
Yes, he does. All righty. Oh, I am where I should be. Okay. So now I'm going to go into let's stay in the US for one more question. And hello, Val. And Rose Blue. And this is, and we kind of read on it just a little while ago on the story in the cards, but that was more of a kind of a humorous look. This is a little more serious, and I'm sure you probably might even have read on this yourself. The Ohio showdown over abortion rights.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, and things are intensifying as there's a group that wants to have the want to be able to amend the state's constitution so that it would allow for abortion in certain circumstances where right now it's no, not at all.
Wow.
So the group has filed 710,000 signatures with the state. It's about 300,000 more than they needed.
Okay, good.
Right?
Because there's always people that have fake signatures and sign twice and that sort of thing.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay. So now this is it's supposed to go in to be certified and whatnot. And there's actually two questions that I have in here. Number one is, will the amendment be on the November ballot?
Mm-hmm.
Number one. Number two, the Republicans got a little more Republican, and what they did is they are having a special election on the 8th of August. And what they're voting on is to increase the threshold for amending states' rights from the current majority, with 50% plus one, to 60%.
Yep. I did read on that one.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, I remember reading that one a little while ago because the first thought that came was, you bastards.
Yeah.
Of course you're going to do that. Of course they are. I mean, I can understand it if they raised it from 51 to 55, because, if you get 55% of the vote, that's a pretty strong support for
exactly
or something like that. But 60, what they're trying to do is codify that you can't do it. You can't do it at all because it's hard to get 60%. Not impossible, just hard.
It is. Yeah, it is. It is hard. And the timing is a little suspicious because, do it in August when, people are busy doing other things. They may be out of town.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's clearly a power play. So,
absolutely.
But in the meantime, will this amendment that the signatures are being certified for, will it be on the ballot in November? Will it make it to the ballot in November?
The November ballot, okay.
Yeah. Hello, Cindy B.
Yeah. Will it make it the November ballot? Yes, it will. We've got the lover's card here. This is the coming together of men and women, of people of different groups to work together for a common cause. And it's that new journey that people are taking. This is something new that's going to bring together, politics makes for strange bedfellows type of thing.
Yeah.
Bringing people together that don't normally bind on things because they don't want to be trapped, especially women, don't want to be trapped into a decision that's made by a minority party and they don't like what's being offered to them. They want that back. So they're going forward with the Hermit card is going forward in seeking the answers and seeking that justice. So to me, not only is it going to make it on the ballot, it's going to succeed on the ballot. And then, of course, the second question is going to be how that thing in August is going to turn out. But for right now, assuming that the thing in August doesn't turn out the way it does, absolutely succeeds.
Yeah. So this, I got a little worried when I started out with the tower.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Uh-oh, does that mean no? Okay, and I'll tell you the cards, and then I'll kind of explain what it was. Again, the Four of Swords.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The Ace of Swords, the Ten of Cups,
okay,
and the Two of Swords. Okay. So basically, what what that said to me is, okay, no, it is going to make it on the ballot because people that have been silent up until now, that haven't taken a stand one way or the other, are going to take a stand and they're going to say, okay, that's it. Enough is enough. We're talking about families. We're talking about the future of the country. And, the government has no business being in the bedrooms of its citizens. And this is what the Republican sort of agenda is to be able to tell you what needs to be done, how you do it, when you do it, who you do it with. And no, I think this is it is going to make it on the ballot, and I think it is probably going to surprise an awful lot of Republicans in Ohio, which is now predominantly very red state. I think it's going to open a few eyes.
Yeah.
And the people are going to say, nope.
It's funny that the party of governmental overreach is really concerned about what people are doing in their personal bedrooms. What a bunch of voyeurs. Go watch porn if you're that curious.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can't watch porn. That's not biblically correct. Or, God, the hypocrisy is astounding.
It is.
Okay, so are we also reading to see if they can get the things in August?
August. How does that little thing go? August the 8th. And again, are people going to say enough is enough?
That's an interesting one. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've got the Queen of Cups in the Knight of Pentacles. So I think, okay, so first thought with the Queen of Cups is they're trying to keep a lid on things as they go forward with their message. So it's just telling me about the result or telling me their strategy with it. But underneath it is the High Priestess. I think there's going to be an awareness it's almost like because they're doing it in August, and you were touching on this earlier, they're trying to get it. They're trying to sneak one past people. Yep. It's like in the dead of this is the ship going by in the dead of night. Don't worry about the August election, but they're going forward with that message to their people because they want folks. They want the retired people to show up that are going to vote and support them. In the past, it's a winner takes all type phenomena. They know that their time is limited, so they have to codify their minority party views to prevent them from being overturned by the majority of people who don't agree with them. Current situation is the King of Pentacles. To me, it's kind of, they're trying to enforce their value. The wealthy people or elites are trying to enforce their values on the people in Ohio. I do get, though, that there's a fight that's going on. There's an action taking place. And I'm assuming that if the folks against this are really getting the call out, they're going to be able to beat this one back. And the reason why they're able to do that is because suburban women are not going to fall for this, and they sure as hell aren't going to give up their reproductive rights to a bunch of crotchety old white men, especially young women. Women are going to vote no, and they're going to tell their daughters to vote no. And the men who support these women and their daughters are also going to vote no on this. I bet you what's going to happen with this Eight of Wands is we're going to get the results back from that election really quickly. 10% of the precincts in, this thing's going down 60-40. That's what's going to happen. You're going to find out early on. And again, underneath it, you've got the High Priestess. This is that feminine knowledge, that feminine wisdom. Women are not stupid, and they see what's happening, and they're not going to take this. Pardon it. They're not going to take it lying down.
Exactly. Yeah.
Maybe they'll tie him up to the bed or something like that, but they'll be on top. They're not going to be lying down for this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry.
And you're absolutely right. Not only are the mothers going to tell their daughters, but they're also going to talk to their husbands and say, listen, enough I've had enough. I'm putting my foot down. Like if you ever want to cuddle with this again in your life, this is what you're going to do, right?
Yeah, I want to
So
see your mail. I want to see your mail-in ballot before you sign it and send
yeah,
it off.
yeah, exactly.
Exactly, Rose.
Yeah. So yeah, it they're they are fighting over it. I mean, you're right in that they are down. They know their days are numbered. They know that their control and whatnot is coming to an end. So they are fighting for anything and everything. It doesn't matter. Just toss it up against the wall and let's hope it sticks. Okay. Um, I've got the King of Cups, and this is the male energy kind of saying no. Okay, this is wrong.
Yeah.
This is wrong. Like we've had years and years and years where women have been able to make the decisions for themselves. There's a whole generation that grew up with women able to make those decisions. So they're not going to fall for it. And the GOP, they've done this to themselves. They've kind of got themselves into something that they're going to try to fight very hard to get out of, and they're calling on people to, yeah, but remember the good old days.
Yeah.
Remember what it was like, when we didn't have to worry and everything was great and everything was fine. That's going to turn out to be quite a burden for them to try to convince people, because people are making the decision. They are listening to what's being said. They are deciding on what it is that they're going to do. And like you, yeah, I got the King of Pentacles.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is it is not going to turn out well for them.
It'll be a real coup for the Republican Party if they can get this thing passed in August. It really will be a coup for them, but eventually it will get overturned because enough people will band together and get this done. If nothing else, over a long enough timeline, because the people who are going to support this are going to be older. They're going to be evangelical types, and they will die off. And they will be replaced by a bunch of young people who are politically active, and it will get overturned. And now, and something new will get codified, and then the GOP never stands any chance of overturning that in the future. So it's one of those double-edged swords. Don't wish that on anyone.
Yeah, exactly. And thank you, Ethel. She says, please collaborate more. You two together are awesome. That is such a kind thing to say, Ethel. Thank you. Yeah, and we will. There. How's that? Absolutely. Because I love reading with you. This is just really, really fun. Okay, so let's go to the other side of the world, and let's go into Russia a little bit, of course. I know. Russia. Okay, so Putin recently attended the SCO conference. That's the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. And some of the members of that organization are, of course, Russia, China, India, and now Iran, and a few others.
Are these the ones that come up with the BRICS, their new currency that they're trying to force on the world?
Oh, it could be. I didn't get that far into it.
Okay, interesting group of players. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And he spoke at that conference, and he was trying to convince them that no, he is firmly in control of Russia. He is firmly in control. Well, given what's been going on, is anybody buying what he's selling?
Oh, hell no.
Okay, so we don't need cards for this.
No. There are times where I'll watch Sterling's Medium's channel, and I'll just listen to the questions, and I'll just yell out the first answer that comes to mind. And I'm right most of the time with that one. I can't explain it like he does, but I can go with that
Yes.
one. No, they know weakness when they see it. And oh God, it's there's blood in the water, and they know sharks are
Yes.
coming. And I think I've read stuff that China's they're distancing themselves from Russia just a little bit there. They're not going gung ho on that one.
No,
And yeah,
exactly. No, they're not. Um, and they get a lot of their oil from Russia, as does India. And I think that this is a perfect opportunity for them to go in and renegotiate the what they're paying for the oil,
okay.
and to renegotiate some of the other contracts that they might have in place with the old, well, you tell me you're in charge, I believe you, thousands wouldn't, but you know it's about this little agreement.
Yeah.
So yeah, I I I agree. No, that nobody is buying it, and you're right. They can smell the
Yeah, it's blood in
fear.
the water. And
Yeah,
they also know they have Putin over a barrel. They
yeah.
absolutely, and if they renegotiate oil contracts, the sanctions that the NATO countries have put on Russia have really crippled Russia's ability to conduct this war. And uh, if Putin was trying to find new funding for it, he's kind of stuck because he's got oil, and I think I just read today that Saudi Arabia was increasing the prices of oil they're selling uh, to the eastern countries or to China or to Russia or something like that.
Hmm.
Um, but even with that pressure, I don't think they'll pay more for it because they got Putin is in a bad spot, and
Yeah,
he needs all the financial support he can get, so they don't have to pay top dollar for it.
yeah, exactly. And they have been supporting Russia
Yeah,
in terms of purchasing things and whatnot, and even supplying you know weapons for his war.
yeah,
And um, that's just more power that he has given away. And especially people can see that the Russia days gone by when you would sit back and you would go, what if Russia does this? What if because you didn't know what Russia was doing. You didn't know what they had and what they were capable of, and so on. This war with the Ukraine has shown the world that they got nothing.
yep.
They got nothing. Okay. So, still staying in Russia for a little bit. Um, Belarus leader Lukashenko
Mhm.
said that Yevgeny Prigozhin
Yeah.
was in Belarus.
Mhm.
That was part of the deal and whatnot. So yeah, he's in Belarus. No one could really confirm that that's where he was. Well, then, um, about a week or so later, he says, "Oh, Prigozhin. Oh, him. No, you know what? I think he's in St. Petersburg, and I think he might be on his way to Moscow." All right. So about the same time, the Russian news media comes out and they start posting videos of a raid that that the secret police or whoever they had involved did on Prigozhin's mansion. And they were showing all the stuff that they confiscated and so on and so forth. And yeah, he's not a good person. Okay. Then a couple hours later, um, the news media announces that yeah, they did go in and they did seize a lot of things, but yeah, a lot of it was returned to Prigozhin. So it's like trying to get all those clowns in the clown car. You never know who's getting in, who's coming out, which way are they going, and whatnot. So I think Churchill was right, when he said that Russia was a riddle wrapped in a mystery inside an enigma.
Enigma. Yep.
Absolutely. So 3 questions here.
Okay.
First question, where is Prigozhin? No one has seen him. No one has heard from him. Where is he? My. Go ahead.
Trying to make a little bit of sense out of all this. Okay, so where is Prigozhin? I'm getting the King of Swords in Judgment. I don't think if Putin was still really in charge, I would have him as the King of Swords. But in this case, to me, this is Prigozhin. I don't think Lukashenko is strong enough, and Putin's not strong enough to fit this role. So that leaves Prigozhin as this role, and center underneath it is Judgment. I think he understands that he's in a situation where he has to be very careful about the leadership that's in place. Lukashenko is a puppet for Putin. I think I think what he's doing right now, he's calling his troops to him. He's been, again, strong emotion. He's been trying, from what I've read, he gives money to his fallen troops. He's appealing to the morale of his troops, and I think the Russian people as a call to arms. And he presents himself as a more reasonable, insightful person than Putin. Underneath it, we have the eight of rods, which is quick motion, but could also be flight, like air travel. It wouldn't surprise me to find out that he's gone to Africa or basically wherever his headquarters are overseas, where he's a little bit more protected. Or what this could be showing is just how quickly things changed when he did his march on Moscow. I don't think he's under arrest. I don't think he's in hiding per se, but I think he might be lying low. But I'm not getting anything definitive one way or another on that one. I'm not sure what you're getting on this.
Yeah. No, I think there's I start off with the moon.
Like a mystery, good.
Yeah, like
nobody knows.
Imagine that coming out. Yeah,
and reveal the big reveal.
Yeah, so it's no, they don't know where he is. They're trying very hard to find him, but yeah, he has kind of gone underground. Okay, he is getting ready to start talking, and he's going to be, the taking names and he is going to start talking, and he is going to start to point out where the weaknesses in the government are and who's involved with who and so on. And I think that is his strategy going forward, is that, he knows Putin's days are over. Maybe he's already crossed the Rainbow Bridge. Who knows? And he knows that there's a void, there's a vacuum, and he's going to step in there. He is going to present himself, like you said, as the alternative. Okay. This is what I did for you. Look at the other oligarchs. What did they do? They got on their planes and their yachts and they left the country. And I was the one who, tried to calm things down and so on and so forth. He is laying low and holding on to what he has.
Yeah.
And he's playing his cards very, very close to the chest. And he plans on being the next emperor. That's what he's, his goal is to be the next emperor. And then I got the Queen of Swords. And she's all about just the facts, man. I don't want to hear the story. I just want to know what the facts are, right? And oddly enough, the bottom of the deck, I have the King of Swords. So I think this whole little attacking Moscow and all that, I think that was just a big show, just a big production to get people used to the idea of change. Someone's going to come in and change it very quickly.
Yeah, you think about it. It got him out of a quagmire that is Ukraine.
Yep.
All of a sudden, now he's in Belarus, which if he wanted to try and make another run at Kiev, he can do that. But he's out of what's going to be a really bad situation in southern Ukraine when the Ukrainians really start pushing. Once they get the tactical situation to their favor, they commit their reserves to that area to start the breakthrough, and then F-16s show up or extra MiGs show up for not only air superiority but aerial dominance. At that point, they will start rolling the Russian troops, and he will have protected his men in his power base because he's got all the soldiers with him in Belarus. I suspect I'm saying he's lying low. I think they know where he is. They can't get to him if they wanted to, because he's surrounded by a bunch of basically elite soldiers, battle-hardened soldiers to protect him. And the Russian hacks that are out there right now, that would be like me going to war trying to take out some guys who are former Navy SEALs. It's not going to end well for me.
No. Yeah. There are limitations, and I know what they are. and I'm okay with them. Yeah. And this kind of leads to my next question, which is there's a word that they use in Russia. It's razborka, and basically it means like settling scores. Getting even, that kind of stuff. Okay. So how will Putin handle this settling of scores? Because it feels like no one is taking him seriously. And I don't think that he has what it takes to, even if he did know where Prigozhin is, I don't think he has the strength to send someone in there to get him. So what's your feeling? And this is kind of the mafia version of, hey, Vinny wants to talk to you.
Yeah. my initial reaction is he can't. He doesn't have the ability. Okay, so I get 3 of Swords crossed with the 8 of Cups. So there's this disappointment that the betrayal that he cannot believe that Prigozhin did this to him. The Russian people, when Prigozhin and Wagner forces were coming up, the populace didn't rise up to protect him. Nobody was there to protect him. He is feeling a huge betrayal, and he's now, I think, really understanding that his long-term survival might rely on him having an escape plan. He's trapped himself into this war. He's committed himself. He's tied himself to this military action, and it's not bearing the fruit that he thought it would bear. If anything, it's poison fruit, and it's starting to bear fruit for other people who aren't him. Um, and this is not how he planned it. He wanted a return to the Soviet Union. And what he's doing is he's just giving away his power to other people. And despite his hard work and everything that he's worked for in his life, he's not going to have anything to show for it. We have temperance here as the outcome. I think he is now working on a new plan to extricate himself from this situation. Um, and it's going to be a plan that's going to have him leaving power, because there's, he's only going to leave Russia either if he runs or on his back on a slab, on a concrete slab. There's no retirement for Vladimir Putin in this situation. So he's got to figure out a way that he can make good his escape and find some other place to exist. And it can't be a quick plan. He's not going to just flee. He's going to map things out. And underneath it is that mapping out card. He would love to get revenge, but at this point, again, he doesn't have the capital to do that. What he has the capital to do is save himself. That's what he's got. He can get revenge and die on a slab, or he can try and save himself. Those are his choices.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I've got the Wheel of Fortune, where his fortunes are absolutely turning. This is, like you said, he had a vision for what he wanted, what the legacy that he wanted to leave behind was as the guy who brought that Russia former, to its former glory, and that's not what happened. He was a little too hasty in the things that he did. He thought he had it all planned out. No, not really. So right now he is making that plan to go to plan B. Okay, the first one didn't work. What am I going to do next, and how am I going to get out of this? Because the Three of Swords, like the guy who trained you. Well, you're surrounded by people who you trained to look out for themselves. So the scorpion bit you. Well, because it's a scorpion. So that there's not a whole lot that he could have not expected, right? So he does. He absolutely sees this as a betrayal, and after everything I did for you, this is what you do to me. And he's looking at what he can do. He's trying to figure out where he's going to go next, and there really aren't too many places that he can go.
No.
It's kind of like okay. So I think when he makes the decision that he has to go, I think he's going to go fast, and it's going to be like, okay, right. The bags are packed. Boom, off we go. And that big old mansion that he has that's by the lake or the ocean or whatever. I'm willing to bet you nickels to donuts that there is a way that he can escape from there underwater. I just have a feeling there's,
visions of James Bond.
Yes, absolutely. And what he's looking to right now is to nine of Pentacles, to protect what he has, to be able to take his toys and just go someplace where people aren't going to bother him, so that he can plot his revenge. It's like, what, if this was a movie, and this was the plot of the movie, and you told it to people, they'd go, "Oh, come on, nobody's buying that."
Yeah.
And
I
yet,
I can't picture a place where he could. China is the only place that makes any reasonable sense where he could go. I don't know if they would. Well, they probably would take him in, but I can't think of a place where he would go. I mean, we can go Belarus. That's slumming it, and I can't think of
exactly.
where else he could go. Could he go to Switzerland or some neutral country? I don't think they. I don't think they would take him. I don't know where
No,
this guy could go.
no, because they would turn him over.
Yeah.
Even the countries that he might consider to be quote unquote friendly to him. Let's say he decides he's going to go um, to Iran, okay, because he's got good friends over there. Well, Iran wants to have the U.S. ease up on some of the sanctions that have been imposed on them. Could you imagine? I have Putin
Yeah, exactly.
as a bargaining chip. So tell me now, Mr. Secretary of State, what can I get for one Putin? You know?
Exactly. And there was also the charges that were filed. I don't know if it was the Hague, but the World Court, or the International Court for
Yes.
war crimes on him. That like, for instance, maybe he would have gone to South Africa. He can't do that now
No.
because they're part of that agreement. And if he goes in there, they're obligated to turn him over. So it just really he's really in a box as to where he can go.
Yeah. Yeah. Not much chance. Not much chance. I don't know. Maybe he wants to follow Hitler and go down to Brazil or something, See if he
I
can
mean,
catch the girl from Ipanema.
his he's very strategic, so I can't imagine a scenario that he doesn't have an escape route. I just don't know what it is. I'm not savvy enough to know what that is.
Yeah. Yeah. No, my mind doesn't get that nefarious, like I can suppose a lot of things and whatnot, but I don't know how to be that nasty. I don't know how to be that
Saudi Arabia is always a shot because there's no extradition. I don't know who they have extradition treaties to. I know they don't have one with the U.S. So
yeah.
Maybe he and Trump can go golf there or something. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. All righty. Well, that was kind of the questions that I had for us today. So listen, we're at 52 minutes. I think our timing is really good. So we'll take some questions and we'll see what the folks have to say. All right. Yeah, correct. The U.S. is sending cluster bombs to Ukraine. What does that mean?
Interesting. I didn't think cluster bombs were authorized by the Geneva Convention, or that I thought they outlawed the use of cluster bombs. Now, let's assume that that's not true, and I'm misinformed. That is one of the greatest ways. They're anti-personnel bombs. It is a great way to get rid of what they refer to as soft targets. So you can picture these guys in their trenches. You drop a cluster bomb in there, you're going to wipe out hard point those trenches really quickly, which would speed things up. What would they be doing in that? Celebration, Page of Cups, Nine of Swords, and the Hermit. What does this mean? It would be a celebration. It's going to be a next step. It's kind of a warning shot to Russia, because these things would be horrific from they would be like, this is the thing that helps with the breakthrough. They would drop those to get with the breakthrough on that one, and then this is your breakthrough card, and it makes life absolutely hell for the troops on the ground. It would be another stage of war. It's upping the war, and it would be seeking to put a quick end to that war with groups working together behind the scenes. I don't know if cluster bombs are legal to deploy, but if they did, that's what they would use them for, and would really help with the breakthrough on the Ukrainian part.
Yes, it would. Yeah. Okay. I got the Nine of Swords as well. So yeah, they're worried about that. Okay, they're looking at kind of what some of their options, or I mean, on the Russian side, what some of their options are going to be. Um, they know that the world is watching, and yeah, this is it's almost like I see this card, and it's like I see Biden. Um, kind of sitting back going, okay, you know the phrase that the kids are using these days? F around and find out.
Yes.
Okay, Putin, F around, find out. Let's
Yeah.
see what happens. Um, I think, yeah, with the world watching and everyone seeing what's going on, this is a great way to say, okay, knock it off. Um, because if they don't, yeah, it's a tower moment.
Yeah.
You know, like this, yeah.
I suspect that this is a just in case type
Yeah,
thing. That okay, if Russia starts, blowing up nuclear power plants and
yes,
committing war crimes and such, that okay, well, Ukraine's now going to start using cluster bombs. We're going to take it to the next level.
next level,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
we're going to
exactly,
ramp it up. Is that's the game you want to play? Because we'll start doing this. And if you want to go from there, we can go from there.
exactly. Yeah, and Spirit Watcher Suzanne. Oh, where are you? Said, yeah, Russia is using cluster munitions against Ukraine.
Yeah. Okay. That would
Okay.
make sense. Because at this point, yeah, exactly. Is this the game you want to play? We can play this game. And guess what? We can supply about 100 times more than what you guys have. Good luck with that. We'll see how this works out for you.
Yeah. F around and find out.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. And now we've got.
I did a quick read on this one yesterday. I think it was a tour. It was a visitor. It was a tourist that flew into town and dropped it. Yes, they will. The FBI and the Secret Service are going to figure this one out, and they're going to figure it out pretty quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. And we, the ladies and I read on it in Story in the Cards, and my question was, okay, now that they have it, is Don Jr. going to sue the government if he doesn't get his property back?
Maybe David Dennison will call the lost and found at the White House,
yes,
trying to find his son's lost lunch bag.
Yeah. Powdered sugar. He likes his donuts powdered. I don't know.
I don't know.
For sure. Yeah. They're. I don't know that there would necessarily be charges. Whoever did it thought that they were being a smartass. It didn't turn out that way. So, they're going to be able to identify them because they know everybody who goes in and out, right? And this was in an area where people are told to leave their cell phones and whatnot. So I've got a pretty good feeling that someone's on camera losing something.
Yep. And again, something like this, if there's fingerprints, and if you're like the only person wearing gloves in July in Washington, D.C., you kind of stand out.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Sonia, since we're a little pressed for time, I'm just going to stick to the political for now. What are the chances of Orange Trump going to jail? Slim to none, and slim as packing a bag.
It's not decided yet. It really depends on. Pull you down. We got the moon card, so that's up. It's kind of like that's up to him and his crazy ass behavior.
Yeah.
If he keeps acting like a Looney Tune and doing stuff like, I don't know, giving Obama's address out to people, the judges are going to say, they're already thinking this. Like, I cannot believe that this guy did that crazy action, and maybe we need to put him in, basically in jail for 72 hours
Yeah.
To get the message across. But expect that they've reached out to him and his lawyers, and in no uncertain terms told him that he has crossed a line and he risks losing his freedom and his bail for a period of time until he can play nice.
Yeah. Yeah. And is he ultimately, is he going to be in jail? He's not going to be in a jail the way that you and I would think of a traditional jail. He's too much of a risk to be in something like that. Anyone can get to him. There's no way to quote unquote protect him um, from others and from himself, right? And yeah, Rose Blue, like he could start spilling national secrets. Who knows? So I think that I can see confinement in his future, very stringent and yeah, very confined confinement, if that makes any sense. Like, yeah, he's not going to be able to communicate with anyone. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
In asking if he would ever be incarcerated, I got the moon card. Maybe instead of being incarcerated, he might actually be put in a mental health facility
Mm-hmm.
if they deem him crazy. It's going to be done against his will. It would be like a judge order saying you need to go here because this is for your best health, your best mental health, because you're exhausted and you're acting all crazy. And it's a new
Yeah.
idea that would be presented that hasn't really been presented before.
Yeah. I start out with 3 wands. So yeah, I think that whatever things are going to move pretty fast for him. And I think that you're right. He just might decide that he's above it all. He can say whatever he wants. And I think he is going to say something that is going to uh, absolutely cause a lot of fighting, and it is going to put him in a situation where he's not going to be able to get out. Like I see that that I know it's not the traditional meaning of the card, but I do see it as, okay, well, there's no place for me to go.
Yeah.
I get the Queen of Swords. Okay, someone is definitely going to be putting a fire under him, and yeah, he's gonna go away. Yeah.
I have this fantasy that
No.
I've never been able to get the cards to confirm this, because whenever I ask if he's going to flee the country, I never get a straight answer on it. But my gut feeling tells me is that he tries to flee to Saudi Arabia in November. The LIV is having a golf tournament in Saudi Arabia, and
Yeah.
he has business dealings with the LIV, and it would make sense that he would have a business relationship that would require him to go to Saudi Arabia. And then once there, he might decide not to come back. But then, and now here's the poetic karmic part of it. Picture him stroking out in Saudi Arabia and then having to come back to the United States for medical treatment for a stroke. And, when he's back in the United States, they put him into a facility so that he could be cared for, which is just basically going to double his house arrest. So he could be in Mar-a-Lago or Bedminster under house arrest after having a stroke. And I want you to think about the karmicness of this nature. Donald Trump's biggest strength is his ability to speak and convince people to do things that are not in their best interest. Now, picture him being stroked out, drooling into a cup, unable to speak. He's got all his mental faculties. He's pooping his pants because he has no bowel control, but he can't convince people to do anything. So he's stuck in a prison that's his own body. Yeah. He can't speak. He can't do anything. He can't golf. He just sits there and rots with his own thoughts.
Yeah.
Could you think of for a narcissist like him, could you think of a worse punishment? This is better than incarceration, because
I know
incarceration, he could, convince people that he's the leader of the gang. He can have a bunch of people underneath him again. But in this case, it's him with his worst enemy, himself.
Yeah, exactly. I think that there's that's a really good fantasy. I'm totally on board with that. I would like to participate in that. Yeah, but you're absolutely right. That would be, to still have some control or some, control of your faculties, but unable to express what it is that you're thinking. You aren't able to look at the person that comes in the room and say, I'm still the president. The election was stolen from me. What you can, this is fake news, and do you know who I am and whatnot. And to see other people that would come in and look at him, whether doctors, nurses, or whoever, and look at him with pity.
Yes.
I think every time that would happen, it would be like a stab in the back, a slap in the face.
And
so
I think it's really on him. It's really on him. And this could very well be a karmic reward for all his bad behaviors. And I wouldn't wish that on anybody, but I can't get around the poetic nature of reaping what you sow in this case. It may not be something that lasts a long time, but again, it would be from his point of view, the most horrific punishment ever. Yeah,
absolutely. And see, someone else agrees. Same fantasy. You know what?
Hello.
I think a lot of people recognize what his weakness is, and his weakness is himself.
Yeah.
And that would be, that would absolutely be poetic justice to know what was going on and not be able to do anything about it while you're sitting and in your diaper. Okay.
It would really defang the MAGA movement too, because it denies them their cult of personality. Trump can't go back into power. He is physically incapable, mentally incapable of doing it.
Exactly.
And then it's not like they're going to go flocking to Ron DeSantis. It's Trump that drives. Trump's not there, then they just disperse in the wind.
Oh, did somebody get that Terror Destroyer? Yeah, that I think it's on your channel. So, just can I do anything? No, I can't.
I'm just getting for this great. I get something from Terror Destroyer for this great collaborations. Blessings. It's just spamming.
Yeah.
Okay. Terror Destroyer spam. We got the message.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, maybe somebody took him out. And hey, Heather, thanks for being here. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. Listen, we are at an hour, 7 minutes. And it's Friday. I still have a couple things that I have to get done today before the weekend. So thank you. Thank you for joining me again. I really enjoy this, and I love your readings. And I tune into your readings to see what you're saying about things.
Only the best things, of course.
Of course.
Marina and I were talking on camera before he came on, and I did a couple of readings involving Canada, and whoo, boy, did the Canadian Conservatives come out in force for what was basically a reading on the Conservative candidate. And I don't think I was particularly harsh on the Conservative candidate. It was literally the first part of it's like, oh, he's doing this. That's pretty smart. Oh, that's good. I think he's got a good strategy going on there. My only message was, I don't think he's going to bring it all the way home. And Lordy, do people not like hearing that.
No, they don't. And the one thing that the rest of Canada always seems to go the way that the Maritimes go, especially Nova Scotia, New Brunswick. So in all elections, that's what I look to, is which way is Nova Scotia voting, and that's kind of a precursor to how things are going to go. But yeah, there's sometimes they go off the. It's like they've taken the GOP playbook and they've gone, okay, USA, no, put in Canada, Montana, no, put in Saskatchewan, and kind of, yeah, taking that. But okay, someone said, yeah, maybe a card. Thank you. Yeah, David, you have to have us mods throw the wrenches. Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Make a few people moderators, and
I don't quite know how to do that.
oh, you know what? That's easy. I'll teach you.
Okay.
In the chat where you can see the person's name, and there's those three dots.
Yeah.
Okay. If you click on the dot,
I only get put user in timeout or ban.
okay. All right. Then yeah. Oh, what you can do after the show is go back into your channel, and where you see those three dots, it should give you more options. And one of them is to to make the person that you've highlighted as a moderator. Okay. And then their name will be highlighted in blue. And then anybody that comes in that is acting kind of stupid or whatnot, yeah, you can just
they can take the okay.
out. Yeah. So, okay. Well, do we want to have, before we go, someone asked for a card for the collective? So maybe we can do that.
Sure.
We'll do a card for the collective, and I'm going to pick from the Mystic Sisters. And yeah. Oh, and Heather, I missed that question. Are the political parties in Canada about the same as the American? Very close. Very, very close. Their platforms are maybe a little different, but otherwise, when it comes to mentality, yeah, very close. Okay, so card for the collective. Yeah. Okay, so what I pulled from the deck is Snake Charmer. And Snake Charmer is all about obsession and fixation. So the message that I got with that right away was, watch your thoughts. What you concentrate on is what you will manifest, what you will bring forth. So, don't obsess about the future. Don't fixate it on certain things. If you're looking for something, just put it out into the universe and say, I am grateful that I already have A, B, C, and D. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then release it, let it go. Do not attach to it. Don't try to think of how you can make it happen, right? Like, yeah, I need to get some more money. Oh, yeah, universe, I need some more money. So yeah, maybe I'll go buy a lottery ticket. That's not faith. So yeah, don't attach it, and remember, thoughts become things. Yeah. What did you get, David?
I got the Empress. You know,
Nice.
take care of yourself, value the things that are worth valuing. Don't stress out over things you can't control. Just show
Yeah.
appreciation for what you do have. Go
Yeah.
forward with that appreciation to, basically the next challenge that that comes in your path. Just make the best choice that you can on that challenge. Don't be afraid of thinking outside the box. Don't be afraid of anything unusual that comes into your life. Just keep showing appreciation for what you have.
Yeah.
If you do this step by step, you're going to persevere and overcome in your journeys.
Absolutely. Perfect. Wonderful. All
And with
right.
that, just say, Chandler.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah, like I said, don't forget to go over to David's channel, give him a like, share, subscribe, and don't
And if you're
while
on my
you're
channel
there.
and you haven't seen Marina's yet, do the same.
Yeah. Yeah. You you do that and it will be greatly appreciated. And yeah. Oh, hey, Deanne, we're just
Hey,
getting
Dan.
ready to go. Yeah. So, but hey, I hope you had fun with the grandkids.
Yes.
Okay, so everyone have a super fantastic weekend, and I will see you all later. And David is definitely going to be coming back. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Thank you,
we'll let,
everyone. And I hope
we'll
you all
let you
have a
know.
great weekend.
Absolutely. All right. Take care, all. Bye.